Hello, H barbarians. Welcome back to H bar's realm. What does success look like for Hedera? This is the answer we're looking for. The answer is simple: invisible ubiquity. Hedera will be the trust layer of the digital economy, the new financial powerhouse powering industries everywhere throughout the globe, while remaining largely unseen by the people using it. It will all happen behind the scenes. Meanwhile, this is Mance Harmon, the co-founder of Hedera, who shared this vision with none other than CNBC guys. Huge.
Mance, you co-founded Hedera. Tell us about your vision and what's happening next.
When we created the company, we built it in such a way that we would be able to address sort of the full universe of potential use cases for blockchain. And we are getting clarity about what those initial use cases are that are going to drive mainstream adoption.
You are talking about distributed ledger technology versus more traditional blockchains. Just explain the difference and why your system is favorable in your opinion.
Technically, we're not a blockchain network. We are a hash graph network. Hashgraph solves the same category problems as blockchain, but it does it in a far more secure and efficient and performant way. But then we're also very different in another important way, maybe even more important, and that's the governance of the network. Most of the public networks today, the public blockchain networks, allow anybody to run a node in the network. These are the organizations or people that are validating the transactions on the network, and they can be anonymous. We took a very different approach. We have more than 30 global Fortune 500 equivalent organizations.
Look at the names over here, guys. Ubisoft, we've got Aberdeen, we've got Dell Technologies. They are all a part of the governing council of Hedera. I mean, it does not get any bigger than this. We've got Google over here, FedEx, IBM, LG, Nomura, Repsol. Now, talk about any other project and talk about any other governance mechanism. Does any mechanism outpace or outplay what Hedera is doing over here? Shinhan Bank is a part of it. We've got Tata Communications. So much happening. Australian Payments Plus. So the Hedera ecosystem is growing as we're speaking. And this invisible ubiquitous, this invisible layer that Hedera will create globally in the global financial order will be paramount to anything or everything that the prior financial arena has ever achieved.
We know them by name, and they're trustworthy organizations. Google, Dell, Deutsche Telekom, Shinhan Bank out of Korea, and Standard Bank out of South Africa. They decide how the network is going to evolve over time, and they ensure the network gets built and operated in such a way that use cases that they care about, products and services that they are going to end up building on top of Hedera, will be serviced well by the network that they govern.
Trust is an issue that some people still grapple with and are still very quizzical about. What is the trust problem that Hedera is trying to solve?
There were a number of problems. The first one had to do with the technology. The technology hash graph, it's not blockchain, it is a fundamental advance in the state of the art that makes it possible for us to achieve the theoretical limits of what can be achieved in terms of security in consensus algorithms. And there are limits of what you can do in terms of security. Hashgraph achieves the maximum of what can be achieved, and it remains solidly performant. So we create trust in the technology by eliminating ways in which the technology can be attacked.
Let's look at the next 3 to 5 years. What does that look like for Hedera?
I think that for Hedera, success is defined by two words: invisible ubiquity. And what I mean by that is that it's going to be at the bottom of this new technology stack that enables Web3 that everyone will use and no one will have heard of. That's what I mean by invisible ubiquity. That's success for Hedera.
Bimando over here has further elaborated this concept of invisible ubiquity. This is the real vision for HBAR and it changes everything long term. So, what does it look like for HBAR? For HBAR, this is what it will actually look like. Every major enterprise and government system throughout the globe quietly settling transactions on Hedera, trillions of dollars in real value flowing through the network daily. We're not talking about monthly, we're not talking about weekly. Trillions of dollars flowing weekly in the network. I mean, it does not get any bigger than this, that's for sure. Constant high volume usage across industries. This is where blockchain is truly utilized to bring real world utility, real world change, aside from hype, aside from speculations, aside from pump and dumps, and aside from everything scam ongoing in the industry at the moment. This is what will create steady organic demand and natural fee burns as adoption scales. Meanwhile, talking about Kraken and its connection with HBAR, look at this. If you do not already know, Nasdaq just partnered with Kraken to enable 24/7 trading of tokenized stocks. The craziest part is it'll run on Kraken, not through traditional brokers like Schwab or TD. Now, what does this mean for Hedera? This might be your question. So look at this. Pack is officially live on Kraken FC. A new chapter begins as Pack expands onto global trading rails with one of the world's largest exchanges. We've got 41,000 plus holders and rising. What does this mean for Hedera? Mark over here has unpacked Pact. You see the irony over here. Kraken just listed Pack. This is the wallet layer of the Hedera ecosystem going mainstream. This is not just another listing. Now, mind you, people might say that this is yet another listing that is happening on an exchange, but this is the wallet layer of the Hedera ecosystem getting mainstream distribution. Hashback is Hedera's leading non custodial wallet. For many users, it is the main gateway into Hedera's DeFi, NFTs, and ecosystem apps through one interface. By the way, by non custodial, we mean that you've got the keys with you. It is all secure. It is self custody mode. So, this is really awesome. Meanwhile, zoom out and a pattern is forming. Kraken has already brought Hedera exposure through multiple angles, including HBAR and real use case listings like Dovu as well. So, while we add Pack, this will add a different layer to the stack. Base asset, real world application exposure, and now the user gateway. So this is really great. This is where we understand that Kraken's understanding and collaboration, connection with Hedera ecosystem is growing. Kraken is not only watching a token, it is increasingly touching the broader Hedera ecosystem surface area. So this is what it is all about. Meanwhile, we covered in the last video as well that HBAR is now merging AI with their work in sustainability as well. As we know, Hedera had partnered with the United Nations on the ESG, the Sustainability Goals solutions via Hedera Guardian. And now that is expanding. We're talking about sustainability, we're talking about climate change, we're talking about artificial intelligence. Hedera is basically everywhere, guys. I mean, it doesn't get any better than Hedera, what it is all about, what it stands for. HBAR community keeping the series rolling. So this is awesome. So many different sectors that Hedera is disrupting and moving. In a nutshell, Hedera is moving trillions of dollars with the invisible ubiquity model in the backdrop, and juggernauts like Kraken are now beginning to understand what it is all about. So, if you're interested in regular Hedera content, do subscribe the channel and smash that notification icon. Until next time, peace out.